good morning, and great morning, guys. Welcome to another fabulous episode of Exit Strategies Radio Show. Hey, I am your host, Corwyn J, Melette, broker and owner of Exit Realty Low Country Group in beautiful North Charleston, South Carolina. Hey, guys, if this is your first time listening to this show, hey, you know what it is, right? You did something today. So let's make a note of that you tuned in to the radio show where our mission is to empower our community through financial literacy and real estate education, guys. We're legacy building. That is what we do. So those who tune in faithfully, I always got to give a shout out to Vanderbilt Evans Sr., Pastor Vanderbilt Evans Sr. He always will yoke me up if I don't put that senior on that thing. And Elder Evans, I got to give a shout out for those who listen all the way from Hollywood, what you know, no good, all the way up through Monkey's Corner. Hey, that's where my mama live, y'all. And y'all know that. And those who tune in to us now from Muddy Mullins. Hey, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in and listening to this show. Hopefully you take something out of it that changes your family starting today for generations yet to come. That's what our word tells us, and that is what we deliver on. Now, today, I need y'all turn the flapjacks off. Yeah, no pancakes yet. I need y'all to grab a pen. I need you to turn the grits off. We don't want to boil them over and burn them because, you scored some grits. That's it. So we want to make sure we don't do none of that today because I need y'all to get this information and education today because we're talking about workforce housing. We're talking about that thing that has been created to benefit those who sometimes feel like they're missing in that middle phase. And I ain't gonna steal no thunder because I am super duper excited to have on the show with us none other than there's only one, Tammy Stevens Wilson with Prosperity Builders, and Kendra, there's only one, Beezer with Prosperity Builders. How you guys doing today?
Doing great, Corwyn. Glad to be with you.
Thank you for having us.
Well, you're quite welcome. Thank you guys for being on. So, guys, I appreciate you indulging me in my fanfare as I rolled out my platinum carpet. We need platinum for y'all. We can't do red. That's A, and everybody does that. We got to go platinum. We got to go a level up because we're talking about something very special here today. So, guys, if you don't mind, give us that 50,000-foot view of who you are, what you guys do, and let's have a conversation.
Sure. Well, I am Tammy Stevens Wilson. I am a partner in Prosperity Builders. My partner is Tony Berry, who many of you might know. He's done quite a few projects around the state under the moniker The Berry Company. And so Prosperity Builders is a workforce housing platform, meaning that our specialty is delivering affordably priced housing for what the real estate industry calls the missing middle, right? That's those of us that are working hard every day. We don't quite qualify for low-income housing, and we're not in that upper group that can afford some of the high prices of housing here in Charleston. But we're the folks in the middle that work hard every day and are looking for a place to call home to build a legacy for our families. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Kendra Boozer.
So, Kendra?
Hi, I'm Kendra, and I handle all the sales at Bermuda Pointe and for Prosperity Builders. And we just really want to help people find homes.
Yes.
Awesome. Tammy and Kendra, so you guys give an introduction into who Prosperity Builders is, what the purpose of the company is, what the endeavor is, because it's a lift. Let's be real. It is a lift. But if you don't mind, touch on what makes workforce housing most important. And Tammy, I'd ask you to lead on that if you don't mind.
Sure. I think for us, for Tony and I, what really matters is creating an affordable, quality place to call home for the families that deserve it. Homeownership is still, of course, the American dream. And in areas like Charleston and other high-cost communities, it's difficult to find a home that's within your price range. And then there are a lot of messages in the market about interest rates and down payment assistance. And we're hoping in this conversation with you, Corwyn, to work through some of that. But for many people, the purchase of a home is the largest purchase that they'll ever make. And of course, as you invest in a home, your equity grows. which means your money grows. There are opportunities to invest in a business with the equity from your home to help your children get their first home. If, for example, you're a single person, there's the opportunity to build wealth, to travel. So really, owning a home is the center of building a great life for yourself. And we happen to believe that everyone, regardless of income, needs to have a shot at owning a home. And so we start, as we always say, with that Excel spreadsheet and find ways to deliver quality by squeezing out all of the excess juice to do the basics, to build a beautiful home that is affordable and high quality, that will grow in value, we pray, which has been the case for all of our properties to date. So we think that it's really important for us to play a role in helping people get their slice of the American dream. That's why we do it.
So you touched on something and you said something, and guys, you got to bear with me just a smidgen for our listeners. Y'all know I'll act up just a little bit. But Tammy, when you said that I believe, we believe, immediately was taken back to the comedians Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy. I believe I was immediately taken back to that. Now, for you guys, real talk, the proof is in the pudding, right? So real talk, I believe, but you're doing it.
Yes.
So you guys have several projects working, but you've already completed a couple of projects in the state already that are on this vein. If you don't mind, touch on that and share those successes.
Sure. The most relevant local example is in Mount Pleasant. We actually were fortunate to do Mount Pleasant's first workforce housing community, a community called Gregory Ferry Towns, which is right off Highway 17. And with that project, we built 36 workforce housing townhomes. And at that site, we have what I would call ordinary people like us, teachers, firefighters, grocery store workers, people that we see in our community, our neighbors. And for many of them, they never thought that they would be able to purchase a home in Charleston, given the costs here. And so what we were able to do in partnership with the nonprofit called Housing for All, and also with the town of Mount Pleasant, was build a beautiful townhome community, affordably priced, beautiful fixtures, lots of space, and a place, as I keep saying, for people to call home. And as we always say, the bottom line is, even if you're renting now, you're paying likely someone else's mortgage, right? They're renting to you. So the choice really becomes, am I going to pay someone else's mortgage or am I going to pay my own, where I get the opportunity to accrue wealth and to pass it on and to live life the way that I'd like to live life by owning my own little piece of real estate. That's one example of our project. We have a couple coming, Carolina Park Towns, a few other projects on the horizon, but the one that we're really excited to talk about today is our project, Bermuda Pointe Towns on Ashley River Road.
Kendra, let me pull you in right here because you're boots on the ground, right? So, I want to, as we introduce Bermuda Pointe Towns to our listeners today, as an example of, and just for just a moment, if I could place this segue in here for our listeners, some of you may have heard this reference from me. I talk about affordable workforce housing being the kneeling bus. It's the bus that goes along, gets to the stop, lowers itself so people can get on, raises itself up and moves on to the next stop. This is that kneeling bus opportunity. So Kendra, give us an example. I know the community is ongoing. There's been a lot of stuff. Lord, there's been a lot of stuff that happens in the real estate market. We've had COVID and all this stuff. I mean, I think when I started, I was skinny with black hair. Now I'm much larger with all this gray hair. Look, I look like Santa Claus most times. Just a lot of stuff that happens, right? But for you, as you are engaging with consumers at the door, they're coming to the door, Bermuda Pointe, what is the conversation? How does that go? And who are these people?
Well, we have 16 homes built right now, 2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And the people are teachers, they're nurses that are coming by, they're City of Charleston employees. We've had a lot of traffic lately, seeing the incentive out there and wanting to come and tour. But they're gorgeous 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhomes with garages, granite countertops in the kitchen, LVP flooring in the first level, very nice cabinets. They all come with the blinds, which is another thing people don't have to worry about. And it's basically, I mean, you need to come and look and live.
So what I just heard you say was these ain't cheap. Because I heard you say granite in there. That's what I heard. I heard granite. So when I hear rock, when I hear rock, that ain't cheap housing. This ain't, hey, look here, we got your grandmama for Mike on this countertop. And look here, and we ain't got old subway tiles here in here that we don't recycle from somewhere. We got new stuff, nice stuff in these homes that are afforded as an opportunity for those who quote unquote qualify. So we'll get into that. But Tammy, let me kind of shift back around because there's got to be a market for everything, right? There's got to be people that have the need. You touched on that missing middle. That's the people that quote unquote that's left out because everything is designed either for the people who can't altogether and those who can, and those people in the middle that, hey, I'm right here. Y'all don't see me right here. Ownership. I just can't afford to own what they own on this end. How do people understand not only the missing middle, but these opportunities that are afforded? Because this is a unique space in the market. So give us your insight on that.
So the way that we approach it is to look at what are some of the barriers. And I would say, Corwyn, which is why we particularly appreciate this opportunity, I think the first barrier is education, like understanding that there's an opportunity available for many folks that have seen the price of housing go up in the market and just think there's no place for me to jump in. What we have done is wrestle, as I said earlier, all of the juice out of a project where we offer quality appliances and furnishings and a beautiful design. And so once we have that together, what we're able to offer is also down payment assistance, which would be the second hurdle for folks. And Kendra will go into a little bit of how the down payment assistance works, because that tends to be the issue. Like, how do I find enough money to put a down payment on a property so that the monthly payments are affordable to me? So we offer down payment assistance in partnership, and I meant to mention them at the outset, Charleston Redevelopment Corporation. We partnered with CRC, as they're called, to get down payment assistance from them so that depending on your income level, we're able to give you up to around $70,000, possibly more, from different programming and down payment assistance. And the third challenge tends to be around interest rate, because everyone reads the paper and hears about interest rates being high, which of course affects the size of your monthly payment. We also have incentives to get your interest rate down. So there's that trifecta, if you will, the education, down payment assistance, and also interest rates. We blend all of those things to try to help potential homeowners see themselves in our homes and figure out how to move forward. And one of the things that Kendra and I say a lot is come look, come see it first to see if you see yourself living in one of our quality homes, and then lock in with it, right? Apply. We have preferred mortgage lenders who have the same commitment that we do to taking care of people and giving them the best interest rates and the best opportunities. So lock in, get pre-approved. Kendra holds your hand through the whole process so you're not handed off to a lot of different people. And then live your legacy, right? Want to do owning your own home with the opportunity that it provides. Look, lock, and live your legacy. So all of those things work together for us. We start with the end buyer in mind. What can we build and create that addresses anything that might be preventing you from owning a home of your own?
So what I just heard was, so getting back to the bus, you guys have got the bus. The bus lowered itself. Y'all said it ain't low enough. So y'all ran all the way around the bus with a knife and took it down like 4 flats on a Cadillac. And and now we got the bus, quote unquote, where it needs to be. So Kendra, don't laugh because y'all encourage me now. But basically what I just heard is real talk. We just took the bus down like 4 flats on the Cadillac in order to create this opportunity for people to become homeowners that otherwise would have been left out or left behind. So Kendra, wanted to talk about the location. So, look, we're talking about the product, how nice it is, etc. But let's tell them where it is, because see, some people probably listen to the show talking about, well, look, y'all must be out in the country somewhere. No, y'all must be down there about another side of around or something. So, Kendra, if you don't mind, give our listeners that. Okay, where are you? Let's go.
We are right off of Highway 61, very close to getting on 526. We're pretty much in the center of West Ashley. There's East Ferry's very close with a bunch of shopping, a lot of schools and grocery shopping near us. Very easy to get downtown Charleston or North Charleston. It's just a great location.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, Tammy, you touched on the incentive. So, Kendra, bring that in. What does this look like? So, when we're talking incentives, what does that mean? First of all, what does incentive mean? Because most consumers have no idea what that is.
So incentives can be anything from the seller, prosperity builders helping to buy down the rate to get the mortgage rate down. It could be down payment assistance, which would go to pay towards the purchase price to get your loan amount down. It could be some closing cost incentives, anything that would benefit the buyer that the seller can do. And to reiterate what Tammy was saying, we do have significant down payment assistance, all of which can be forgiven. So not only is a purchaser or buyer earning equity by being in the Charleston real estate market, but you're also earning forgiveness every year you live there. There's also a misconception that you have to live there a certain time frame. You don't, but the longer you live there, the more of that down payment assistance will be forgiven.
Okay. So that's interesting to know, because one of the things that we sometimes talk about in this space is that there is a misconception and a lot of misinformation as it relates to down payment assistance and programs that are structured either similarly or like this, if you will. So, what has been the conversation? I mean, let's be real. It's an amazing opportunity. All right. Listeners, look, it's an amazing opportunity. Because again, don't forget, every time y'all go out, if y'all out here driving today, when y'all see a Cadillac, y'all gonna think about four flats on the Cadillac every time you see one today. Or anytime you think about this show, you four flats on the Cadillac. That's what's happening right here. So, Kendra, talking about them four flats, getting the down payment assistance applied. First of all, let's touch on what those requirements are. And then also behind that, what is that conversation like with the consumer, with the buyer, prospective buyer, letting them know, hey, this is what this opportunity could look like for you. So if you don't mind, give us those parameters, qualifications, et cetera, for that. And then that second question.
Sure. These parameters are based on your income, and that's it. And it is, like you said, it's an amazing opportunity. And a lot of people think that it sounds too good to be true, but it's not. We can help you get into a home that you otherwise could not afford with the down payment assistance and buying down the rate. We just really want to help people own their own homes. And we want you to come and look and lock in the rates and live your legacy.
Yes.
Awesome. So, Tammy, let me bring this back around for you. Prosperity Builders has a commitment. And I love that word. I mean, I'm still in my head with the I believe, we believe, right? But you all have a commitment to this. So if you don't mind, give us that, because this is an opportunity. You know, sometimes there's things that happen or go on, all that stuff, right? And it's just, okay, it is what it is. But then there's also these opportunities that come about for someone to truly be a part of something. So you guys have created this space that now consumers can, if you will, be a part of these communities. What is your driver, number one? And number two, as we get down the road in the thought process of the further commitment, what does this look like long term, if you will, for Prosperity Builders?
So I think to get it back to the core of where the commitment comes from, both Tony and I grew up in a very small town called Lancaster, South Carolina, which during the time that we grew up was what they call a mill town, right? So we had the opportunity to see really hard workers working hard, saving their money to own their homes, right? As Lancaster started to grow in the outer bands of the county, there were more opportunities than within the inner city. But we watched, again, hardworking people persevere. They wanted to own their homes to have a legacy to pass on to their families, those kinds of things. And it's that same small town commitment growing up in communities like that and seeing how important owning a home was where the two of us grew up. And so that commitment to us now is very simple. It begins with the belief that those same principles, that hardworking people want and deserve a shot at the American dream. And while, yes, it is much easier to do market rate housing. Now, market rate developers might beg to differ,
Mhm,
but
mhm,
yes, it's much simpler, right? You figure out your costs and then you pass those costs on to the homeowner and you sell the home in that way. For us, the complexities of putting the deal together are, as they would say, the juice is worth the squeeze. We work
mm,
really hard and we're very intentional about the people we bring to the table. We
mhm,
keep emphasizing the look part of the look, lock, live your legacy, because we pick the people that we would want to sit down and talk to. You
mm,
can call Kendra and sit down and have coffee with her and say, this is what I have going on. This is what I'm looking for. She can match you with one of our preferred lenders who are also hand selected for the types of products they have, the flexibility, the kinds of folks that don't take forever to give you an answer and understand your situation and try to work with you. And even if the answer is no, it's more a not now. And they give you the tools and the information that you need to get ready for the opportunity, perhaps at a later date. Even in things like the appliances and the fixtures and the granite countertops, what was important to us, back to our belief system, is that affordable housing, attainable housing, workforce housing, whatever you call it, should be high quality, right? It should be a place that folks are proud to call home. And so all of those things for us are part of the belief system. You do it right, you have the right people at the table. And at the end of the day, you want to have something that the community is proud of, that we are individually proud of, and we have the perfect team of people to help folks do it. And so I strongly encourage anyone who might be on the edge or you're hearing headlines or the news, call Kendra. She'll give you her information and just say, listen, this is what I'm thinking about. Would love to come out there and sit down and talk to you. That is the first step to push through the concern and the fear and just come out there and take a look at it and have a conversation. We have so many incentives and so many opportunities for people to become homeowners. We would hate for you to miss the opportunity
mhm.
by sitting out, putting yourself on the bench, to use a sports analogy. So get in the game. We encourage you to come out and visit with Kendra, see the property, and go through the incentives. She can tell you all about it, customized for your unique situation. It's worth it. You owe it to yourself.
Ha ha. To take
100%.
a closer look. I love that. That's the commercial, right? So,
Right.
Kendra, where are you? Like, where can people find you? How can they get in contact with you? Let's get that contact information out, the models, everything. Let's go.
Yes. I mean, you can Google Kendra Boozer and you'll see all of our information. But we are at 202 Cache Court in Charleston, South Carolina. My phone number is 843-834-5089. Or you can reach me at Kendra, Kendra, at prosperityBLDR.com. Our website for these homes is B as in boy, P as in Paul, TOWNS. So bptowns.com.
Awesome. Awesome. So, for our listeners, guys, look, I'm going to tell you now, you need to hit the website. It is a catacomb, if you will, of opportunity. Everything is ingrained, connected, banners, if you will, for opportunities, incentives that you can contact Kendra and drill down on, get more information, ask the questions. Inevitably, you should have questions, right? That sounds too good to be true. Well, okay. Well, I'm telling you it's not. Tammy and Kendra are telling you it's not. However, they can explain why it's not. We can tell you all day, but go get the explanation, guys. Go tag in. Kendra, you're excited out here on site and you're looking at the front door and you see this wave of people coming in and they're coming to look, they're coming to lock in, and they're coming to live their legacy. What would you say to them when they hit the door?
I'd say, come on, let's talk. Look at this beautiful 2-bedroom house that you could own with a lot of help from Prosperity Builders and the CRC. It's an opportunity you won't regret to come
And
talk with me.
Tammy, I'm going to give you the tail end. There's an adage, I think Simon said it, but there's an adage about you start a thing with the end in mind. So when you drive through this community and see the people 2-3 years from now, and maybe, to be frank, it's going to be full before then because we're going to feel it from this show. But when you drive through and you encounter the neighbors, what does that do for you? What is that feeling that it gives you when you see this?
So I am all about inquiring this about purpose, right? Because I think that all of us are put here with special gifts and talents that are meant to be shared with the world. And the world could be your family, your community, what have you. And I think for me, it's fulfillment of purpose. A home is more than an investment. Like we talked about the opportunity to live your legacy, about equity when the value of your home increases and gives you an opportunity to really grow money in your home that you can access or save or invest in something else. But the fact of the matter is, home ownership too is an opportunity to change generation, whether it's a home that passes on to friends or family members or what have you. But having a place of your own that can stay in your family or your friend circle is a really important part of life. And to me, it's gratifying to have worked this hard on a project with all of these wonderful people and to see it all come together. And mainly, Corwyn, for all of us, it's the happiness. And I know it's the same for Kendra, for people who see that what they thought was impossible is possible. So being part of that miracle for some people that just never thought they could own a home, whether they're the first in a generation or just because of economics, did not think it was possible for them. To me, the gratification is making dreams come true. It aligns with purpose and wanting to do things that are bigger than yourself. And for both Tony and I, this is an opportunity to do something bigger than ourselves. So we encourage you to come out and meet this great group of folks that we've hand selected to be the front lines for this opportunity, and just talk to them, talk it through, bring people with you, right? If you have other family members or coworkers or friends, even if it's not the opportunity for you, pass on the word to others because it could possibly be the blessing for someone else. But we welcome you here. Our doors are wide open at Bermuda Pointe, and we want to see you. We want to see you.
For our listeners, and Tammy and Kendra, I'm looking up on my board over here. My one word, I have a one word every year. And my one word for this year is promise. That is my word for this year. And for us to operate within the promise that God has given, because we understand that God will give the increase because of his promise to us.
Yes.
So for our listeners, guys, this is it. You've asked for, and Prosperity Builders has delivered. And I ain't saying, I ain't gonna go so far as to say that, quote unquote, God came down here and ordained this. But what I am gonna say to you is that these opportunities are afforded, and he empowers people to be and gives them. There's a scripture that, and I don't want to get too far, but there's a scripture I remember growing up reading because it was always on the table the way the offering was collected, for the people had a mind to work, from Nehemiah, from the people had a mind. So God has given a mind to those people to say, hey, do this for my people, for people. Now, as people and as his people, this is an opportunity that may be afforded to you or somebody else that you know. So I encourage you, I implore you to please let people know about it. Y'all reach out and y'all call Kendra and y'all go over here and y'all find out what's going on and ask, hey, is this for me?
Yes.
And I promise you, he will answer you. So I didn't want to go too far because look here, I'll mess around and get excited over here and start jumping and bouncing around, and y'all don't want that today.
Amen.
Tammy and Kendra, before we go,
Sure.
last remarks or what have you that something you like to say to our listeners today about this opportunity. Kendra?
I would say just please come see me and see what we have to offer. It's worth just a visit. We're right there on Highway 61 in West Ashley, very convenient to get to, and hopefully we can help you.
Awesome.
We want to help you.
I would echo what Kendra said. Check it out for yourself. Bring people with you, friends, family members, because it's a great opportunity to see where you fit. And then we have other communities coming. So it might be that you find if this opportunity isn't for you, that another prosperity builder community might be for you. But it all begins with that first step to reach out, to come out, and to see what we have to offer and see where you fit. We'd love to have you. Really want to see you.
So Tammy, Kendra, thank y'all for taking time out today to be on with us. Most importantly, thank you for being part of the Exit Strategies Radio Show family. You know how I feel about you. We love y'all. So thank y'all so much for taking time to be on the show with us.
Thank you, Corwyn, for
Thank-
having us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
So for our listeners, guys, look here. Y'all know how I feel. Y'all know what I say. Y'all know I always put the two of those things together. And I say it to you this way and tell you that I love you. I love you. I love you. And we're going to see you guys out there in those streets.